Hello everyone, welcome back to Chart Engineers, and today I'm going to go over the previous 2 weeks price action on Bitcoin and a little higher time frame overview of USD CAD. Here we can see we have the Bitcoin chart, and this is going to be the last week Monday, so the 29th of March. Now as we can see, this would have been our market structure high, and then here would have been our market structure low, and as we can see we have had a market structure break to the top side, so this is putting us in an uptrend. So now new market structure low, here's our MSB, and then I was expecting price to retrace into this order block and then push up towards all-time high, and that was where I was looking to target, as all these highs here, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're all sort of just building up, and I see that as some engineered liquidity. But in the meantime, we do have this 12-hour breaker zone right here, but I'm not really paying too much attention to this as we are in an uptrend and these highs are relatively equal, so I'll be leaving that for now, and then I'll just be looking for longs in an order block. So if I just continue playing, nothing here, next candle, price is pushed up, we now have this order block form here. So now if we come back into here, I'll look for 1 hour breaker zones to get into a long. So now as we can see, price has wicked into it, so we have that there, and then just let this play, okay, and then had that. We had 2 sweeps into our 12-hour order block, and then we also do have this 1 hour sweep and then this 1 hour breaker zone here, and it's already been used once, so it is potential to be used again. And this was our breaker zones that formed here, and this was coming off of our 12-hour order block. And then if we go next candle, as you can see, we've had our market structure break, and then I was expecting price to retrace in and push back up, and then instead price went straight through, and that was just a losing trade that I had taken. And then also it's probably good to note that the 4 hour did sweep, and then the 1 hour also did sweep a high from all the way over here, and then we did form this counter setup to the bottom side right here. So I was actually long again. I was expecting this to hold, especially as we had this low here, but then the way this 1 hour candle closed, I cut this trade short at pretty much break even, and then the market wicked below again, taking out our 12-hour low. So now if we go back to our 12-hour chart, as we can see, we do have a new market structure low formed, as this is the one that is putting in our 12-hour market structure high. So these are our structure lines, low, high. I'm going to look for buys if I get some 1 hour breaker zones building up at the bottom, so we'll see what we get. As we see, swept the highs, and now we've also swept some lows, but here no MSB, so we'll just keep playing. Okay, swept a new low here, and then our new high is going to be up here. If we just continue playing, literally nothing, price just keeps consolidating. So in the meantime, we're just going to sit out and wait. Okay, and now what do we have here? We've swept our 12-hour market structure high, and we've also cleared out all of these highs here. So now this doesn't look too bad for shorts, and price to come back down into this order block. So now we'll just let it play, and as we see, price building highs up, price coming down. Not really looking to long anymore due to the 12-hour sweep above, and price is consolidating top of the range. This is the bottom of the range. So now as we see, price does now wick above all these highs, and this isn't the most bullish candle. And then we created this 12 hour, this 1 hour breaker zone here, and I know a few of the guys in the group did take this, and now as we see, price is going to come back up, and now it's starting to sell off. So where would I be targeting? Well, to start anywhere bottom of this range, or that low, or this order block. So if I bring up the risk to reward tool, well, Fibonacci, but I change the values as I find it cleaner than using this here. So now we just let this play. As we see, 3R just under 4. Okay, here 5R done. Even though it's just missed the 12 hour order block, 5R is more than enough to take from one trade. And now as we see, the market has had a market structure break lower, so that will be shown here. And then we have our new market structure high, which is going to be there. And then also we've had a 12 hour sweep, and then this now becomes a 12 hour breaker zone. So now I will be expecting price to, you know, come back up and then continue lower towards this low into this order block, where I'll start looking for longs. And then also in the meantime, it's good to know that we have a 12 hour sweep here, but overall expecting this and then this here. And then also inside we have this fair value gap right here, and then we have this order block here. So I would prefer price to come up higher. And if we go to the 1 hour, we'll just wait and see what type of breaker zones we get forming. Okay, so here we did have 1 hour breaker zone, and then we have this here. I didn't take this as I was personally expecting price to come down. And then also if we continue looking, we do in fact have this short setup form here. So I did have a limit on this. I was waiting for it to come back after here, but instead it just continued lower, and then by the time it come back up, we were still sweeping the low, and then we had this breaker zone form here. So I didn't take this short or this long as I was expecting price to come down. But now if I go back to the 12 hour, you'll see that we did in fact have a 12 hour swing high form here. So I was expecting price to come up higher, and then, you know, tap into this order block here and then come back down. So now if I go back to the 1 hour, we just let this play out, and then as we can see, price pushed all the way up, and now I'll just continue playing. Okay, here we now have a 1 hour sweep. Perfect. It's at the top of our, you know, market structure 2. So psychologically people are going to thinking, it might continue higher now, it's pushing up. But instead, no. What do we get? We're going to wait for our MSB of this low, and then, you know, we after this, we know shorts are good for price to potentially come back down towards here, this 12 hour order block, and then our market structure low. So just let it play. Here we have our MSB, and then our breaker is actually here, but when the, you know, our 1 hour low is higher up, I prefer to just mark it from there and make my stop loss a bit smaller. So let me just put this on the bottom, and then, you know, we do have these highs here building up, and then I was expecting a sweep of, you know, either all of them or one of them, and then price to come back lower. So now if we let it play, we do in fact have a sweep here, and then another breaker zone being created here for price to, you know, come down lower. So we'll just continue. As we see, price with the low coming back up, but 12 hour building lower, 1 hour breaker zones. You know, we have how many of them forming? 1, 2, 3, 4 breaker zones forming, and then we have this 1 hour high sitting here too. So now we can just wait, and then we see sweep into our breaker zone, and now we're going to expect the price to come lower, and then just wait, and then here we go, target reached. So now if we bring up our risk to reward tool from our recent entries, that's going to be 2R, 2.5R from this first short here, and then we're going to have this other position here, which is 3R, 4R, just under 5. So that's 5R in shorts. Again, more than enough to, you know, take the trade and just be happy with it. Or you can wait for a counter set up to form, and then 12-hour. As we see, we've also had another MSB. So I'll mark this out. So our structure is building lower, and now we're in our high time frame area of where we wanted to get into buys. So now if we go to the 1 hour, let me mark out our market structure low. So that's our new market structure high is going to be up here, and then our new market structure low is going to be, well, we're going to anticipate it to form somewhere down here. So we'll just keep going. Okay, now this confirms our market structure low, and now we have, let me clear up this chart a little bit. That seems alright. So now I was expecting a lower high to form in here, and then I saw that we did have this order block here, so I wanted it to come up a bit higher, you know, into the higher part of our market structure for a deeper retrace, and then price to come lower. But instead I anticipated the lower high to form, not the lower high, sorry, the lower low. I anticipate the lower low to form inside this 12-hour order block, and then this would be our breaker zone. And now you see price retraced into it, and then I did post this in the group. I'm not sure if any of you guys did take it, but here I was expecting price to, you know, just retrace up maybe for about 1R and then come lower. But as we see, the market did continue up. I was looking for potential shorts here, but as we see, the market swept the low, did an MSB, so price, you know, not showing any real reason to slow down just yet. And now we have this 1 hour breaker zone form here, and now just price coming back up. Let's come back into the breaker zone. You know, still no reason to get into sells. 1 hour structure still bullish, and then as we see, price just absolutely flew up, and then this gave us a 12-hour market structure break, and then we did raid all of our highs, just leaving the all-time high there. So now we're going to get a new market structure high, and then that's our MSB. And then as we see, if I go back to the 1 hour, price just pushed up, no real reason to cut the short, and then we pushed above all of the liquidity, and by the time it's come up, that's 3.5R. That's more than enough from one trade. So that is that trade there done. And now I am currently, so this is our new market structure low, market structure high. I'm now currently expecting price to come back into this order block or this one here, and then I'm looking for price to, you know, continue up towards the all-time high. But first I need some 1 hour breaker zones to, you know, form. We do have this one right here, but I prefer to, you know, have a fresh level created. So as we see, price just playing out. Did have an initial bounce from here, but now we're up to date with where the current price is. So in the meantime, I'm just looking to buy any 1 hour breaker zones either in here or in here. And that is all from, you know, my Bitcoin recap. I hope you guys found it useful, and if you have any questions, just let me know in the Discord channel. And I had a few requests to go over USD CAD, so I'll do that now. So last week was the 5th we did have this daily sweep above, and then if I go to the 4 hour, actually we did have this sweep up here, and then 4 hour we have our breaker zone here, and then we have another 4 hour breaker zone right here. So I'll mark that out, and you see downtrend, and then the markets come up, we swept this high, and then on the 15-minute we created this breaker zone here, and then this come back at 8:30, 8:45 a.m. so that's our London Open, and you know the market continued lower. Where would I be targeting from this trade? Well, I had our sweep of the high, and then we did have 4 hour low there, and then we had our 4 hour market structure low here. So this would have been our final target, and then we have these other lows here. So if I go back to the 15-minute, this is what it will look like, and then to this low it was 1 hour, and then you see just a little consolidation before falling lower to about a 3 RTP, and then that was Monday. And then later on in the week we did have another sweep of the highs here, and you know the market did continue up, and then on the 15-minute, let me delete this box, it's getting a bit too crowded, and then we did have this other breaker zone form here. But take note of all these highs, you know, equal, it's a double top, so not really the nicest place to put your stop loss, but the market come down and then it did push up and it just comes straight through. But other than that, that's the only trades I can see on USD CAD for the week from my higher time frame view. Again, any other questions, just let me know in the Discord channel.